Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, Tops and Lacey Zabo come back with another really, really sweet collaboration. Can't wait to get that. I will be getting that. Also, I get a knife that I've wanted for 25 years. I don't know, longer than some of you have been alive, and just got that. And then we're going to talk about the evolution of your collection, of my collection, of our collections. And the question is, are customs inevitable if you collect long enough? Is that where things are going to go? Because your interest will take you there naturally, or what have you. I just want to find out, because well, I'm certainly not getting rid of this sprawling collection of awesome production knives, but more and more the customs appeal. Hey, Dave, how's it going? We have Dave, This Old Sword Blade Reviews. Good evening, Bob, Jim, knife junkies everywhere. Well, good evening to you, sir. It's a pleasure to have you. I have one that you gave me right by my side tonight, the old Boker. Love this thing, man. This is crazy. The Boker Smatch It. Blame Dexter, how's it going? Is it the Krusty Krab? Could be. It could be. Blame Dexter, that little dog with the glowing eyes. Is it eye shine or do they glow? Blade Ogre, how's it going? We have Chris with us and his multi-knife carry. Byron Kennedy, always a pleasure. How you doing, Byron? Howdy, Bob, Jim, Junkies. Thursday Night Knives. Will B, how's it going? Hey, everyone, Bob and Jim. Well, Will, it's a pleasure. Every time I see you, you remind me of my old Krav Maga teacher. Kep McNessart, how's it going, sir? Good to have you here. Good evening, knife friends, he says. Good evening, sir. Sweet hat, Bob. Oh, yeah. Well, this is... Thank you, first of all. Second of all, this is to celebrate the brand new Jack Wolf Knives Benny's clip that came into me, and will be and a number of other online knife people, and will be available to the general knife buying public shortly. I need to find that out, actually, so I can time my video. Nick EDCer, how's it going, sir? Hey, Bob, Jim, Knife Gang. So, by the way, well, hello to you, sir. I am going to be showing off this Jack Wolf Knives knife in short order a little bit later in a few. But man, it is sweet. It's so sweet that even my wife was like, "That's beautiful," and then she said it twice. No, that's beautiful. And I was like, wow, she's not just trying to like shut me up or move me along. She really likes this thing. Sharp and Stabby, how's it going, sir? All hail Crom. It's Thursday Night Knives. Yes, all hail Crom indeed. My God is in the mountains. Aberdeen Blades, good to have you here with us, sir. I like your coat of arms. Mark Herrera, good evening, y'all. Mark, good evening to you, sir. Good to have you here. Hero Sticks, hey, everyone. Well, hey, good to have you here, Hero. You have your box on its way back to you at that other address. So looking forward to you receiving that, because I had them way too long, and then to have them bounce back to me, I was like, oh. So can't wait for you to get those. Showstopper 78, how's it going, Showstopper? What's happening with it? Well, it's happening with it good. Jay McConnell, good evening, Bob, Jim, everyone. Good evening, Jay. It's good to have you here. Mr. VC 256, good evening, everyone. He says, good evening to you, sir. I am so looking forward to that which is coming my way. I will be very, 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 very careful. Ed Harrison, good to have you here, Ed Harrison. Ed Harrison, I'm thinking of Ed Harris, the actor, and also Harrison Ford. Like, Ed Harrison is a solid and cool name. Hey, Bob and Jim and everyone, he says, and he might be in Hawaii. Good to have you here, Ed. NAF, hey, NAF Sergeant, how you doing? Good to have you here. I have the NAF Sergeant inspired Mekong Delta combat folder, which, man, I am so glad you showed this video of the one that you had with the bolster lock, because I got this, and man, I love it so much. And I was a little disappointed when I found out it wasn't made by a frogman in a dank basement somewhere near Fort Bragg, but that indeed it was made in the factory of Best Tech. And I was like, well, you know what? That's actually pretty awesome, because I love Best Tech. So anyway, good to have you here with us, NAV Sergeant. Who came up next after NAF Sergeant Jim? Oh, Hero. Got another box coming your way soon. Oh, Yes. Hero is man, he's keeping me in the poison, man. He sends me these boxes with, well, you see what he sends me because I make videos of them, but he'll send me like 8 knives at a time, super sweet knives. You know, and that's a lot of trust. Well, he's good with that. So I appreciate it, sir. Okay, I want to show you what I was carrying in my pockets today. I've been carrying quite a bit since I got it. I'm going to flip it up here for scale and then bring it down here to show you the off-grid knives. Stinger XL in Coyote. I've been carrying this and another knife you're going to be seeing here just nonstop since I've gotten them. As a matter of fact, they inspired the subject matter of this week's midweek supplemental about drop points that have won my heart, and this is definitely one of them. Yes, it's a dagger or a spear point. Maybe not. I mean, because I always consider a spear point something with equal sides. But if you look at that medial ridge, there's a little bit more swedge than main bevel, and this knife is very, very sharp and just really businessy. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like a military knife to me. It's bayonet ground / dagger ground. Like, to me, I'm just nerding out about it. If this plunge grind here on the swedge were all the way back here, then I would call it dagger. But since it stops here, it looks more like a bayonet to me. So that's what we're going with. And you can see great weight relief in here. This is Best Tech made as well. I love Best Tech. Sorry for all the lint in there. There's my compressed air. Very nice weight relief on these, but not too much. I mean, it's thorough in that there are holes all the way from here to here, but it's not like the underbelly of a bridge where it's just a truss system. It's little holes, and it does maintain a good bit of weight in the hand. It's a big knife at 4 inches in blade length, and just really nice handle contouring. This to me is a step forward for off-grid. You know, I love their designs and I love their Best Tech madeness, but something about this one just feels like it's more refined, and I think that's in Carrie Orifice maturing as a designer. Awesome knife. It also comes in a totally blacked out version right here. That was won last week by Ryan Leitner, who has yet to. I'm in talks with him to get him that knife. Okay, next up on me today was where is it? Oh, dag nabbit. Oh, here it is. Was the Jack Wolf Knives Sharpshooter Jack. I had received this and had left it on. Well, anyway, this is the Sharpshooter Jack, and this is the one I carried today. I wanted to carry this in particular for that clip point blade. It is very similar to the Lanny's clip, at least in profile. And I wanted to carry that today, but I was not going to carry the Benny's clip today. And I have a reason for that, which I will share later. But this has a fully hollow ground M390 blade. You know what this is. It's so awesome. Jack Wolf Knives use this knife. This is a sandwich knife for me today because I was at the office, and this ordinarily I could, but today this was more the appropriate knife for me to pull out. Hoping also to get a compliment. No one noticed. But man, such a beautiful knife with this carbon fiber. I really do hope that Ben re-releases the knives, the 6 knives from this first batch at some point, because I'd love to get a crack at all of the carbon fibers. I know, sounds funny for me to say, but these fat carbon fibers are just, God, they're just gorgeous. Love them. Okay, so on me for emotional support was my Finch buffalo tooth. Now, this one I'm going to be making the video on this weekend. I've been carrying this nonstop and using it, like preferring to use this for almost anything. And I've actually determined that it would make a good tactical knife, because that's right. Sure, it would. But you look at it, you say, that's too rounded off. That is not a good, piercing point, but it could be for certain soft mediums because, well, A, it has a point, but B, the belly, which would be making the first contact in whatever that soft medium is very thin and very sharp. So you could use this to great effect in a reverse grip. But that's obviously not what this is. Now, last week I was talking about how evocative this is of old gentlemen's knives, and I think it reminds me of that Gerber my dad had that I've talked about in the past in the 70s. That was so awesome. It was like their sort of 70s modernistic take on the 110. It was a beautiful knife, and then my dad sharpened it on a wheel. And no offense, Dad, but man, you had the wrong wheel. But still, what a beautiful knife that was. And not sure where it is at this point. I'm sure my dad has it somewhere, but anyway, it had this sort of flat bolstered look. It was not rounded like a 110. And it had this sort of look to it. So this to me is like an ultimate gentleman's knife. I know we always think of gentleman's knives as much slimmer and maybe even lighter and just with a smaller footprint, but to me this sitting next to a leather wallet and a cool pen, and I'm not just saying for aesthetics, I'm also saying for use. It's great at everything I've used it for. Awesome knife. Anyway, okay, so that's why it brought emotional support. Also, it's just great to do this and open it and close it. And listen to this detent. Listen to it take up the detent here. Click. It just clicks in there. It's so nice. I love this thing. I do wish they made that nail nick flickable. Now, maybe your mileage may vary. Maybe you're a guitar player, you have longer nails. Maybe you can get it in there, but I don't think so. I'd be interested to find out. Dave says, wearing my blade bling tonight. Nice. Oh, wearing my blade bling tonight too. Nice Williamson t-shirt while fidgeting my new Stinger XL. Oh, they're awesome, aren't they? And I saw you got the Coyote. Did you get them both, Dave? I know sometimes you like to get various iterations, but yeah, that Stinger, man, nicely done. And they call it the XL, which makes me believe they'll come out with a smaller EDC version, which I think would be a great idea. Scoutmaster, good to have you, Scoutmaster Avery. If Ryan fails you, I love that knife. Evening all, just listening as I do a few things before bed. Well, it's good to have you here, and yeah, it's an honor to be a part of your late night puttering, because I have those late night putter sessions too. You know, I don't just walk into a room and clean the room. I'm more impressionistic. I walk around. I clean something here. I go to the next room. I clean a little something there. Everything gets done just in a more impressionistic way. James Moore, good to have you here, James. Hey, Jim and Bob and everyone. It's always a pleasure, James. I wonder what you're carrying today. I know it's going to be sweet. Do let me know. Everyone, let me know what you're carrying. I had the Stinger XL by Off Grid Knives. I had the Sharpshooter by Jack Wolf Knives, and I had the Finch Knife Company Buffalo Tooth. Tell me what you were carrying. Blade Ogre says, love that Benny. Finally announced that Benny's clip this week. Yes, me too. It is killer. And then, you know, there's going to be a whole other season of these coming at another point. I'm not sure when. So it's the first 6 knives being released in the first 6 months, and then there will be more down there. And the ones that are down the road are also exciting designs, like really exciting, cool designs. Mark Ridgewell, good to have you here, Mark. Sharpshooter is such a cool design. Yeah, it is. And one of the great things, Mark, this is what I'm always talking about, is if you get a gun stock patterned traditional or slip joint, make sure that it's a single blade so you can really take advantage of those really cool ergonomics, because it feels great in hand. It's so sure in hand. But my GEC 44, which is a gun stock jack but has a secondary pen blade, well, that secondary pen blade isn't really obtrusive, but it does obscure this right here. You know, comes up here and kind of meets evenly with this portion, so you don't get the ergonomic benefits of that gun stock. So yeah. Scoutmaster says, love the Buffalo Tooth with albacore. Yes, so pretty. It's not albacore. Albacore is a fish, right? It's It's abalone, right? That abalone, that is cool. And the jigged titanium is also sweet. And I have to be totally honest, like uh I think even though jigging and that traditional texturing I love, and even though I love abalone, I think that the cocobolo is just my thing. I just think it strums a chord with me that the others don't on this particular knife. I would love to have the abalone in the holiday. I would love to have the holiday with abalone, or several other off-grid knives. Would be very cool in abalone. Not this, but a lot of them. This old sword says today's carry best tech Togata. Oh, sorry if I'm making the peas pop here. Today's carry best tech Togata prototype M390. Okay, this is designed by what was his name? Cones. You'll remind me of his first name, but I've been following him for years on Instagram. He and I invited him onto the show a long time ago, and he's like, no, thank you for inviting me, but no thank you, I don't like doing that kind of stuff. And he just sort of, I don't know, he seems to live a pretty interesting life up in Canada, and he'll just haul off and make 5 amazing knives in a little batch, fixed blade knives and whatever. And I only ever saw his fixed blade knives that he made, but then he's had some of his folding designs made by, for instance, Best Tech. And today, Dave, if you're not following Dave, this old sword blade reviews on Instagram at this point, you're just missing out on some serious eye candy, because today he had his Best Tech Togata up, and it is enviable. Not even jealousable. It's enviable. I don't want him to have it. I want me to have it. I'm just kidding. Damascus and G10 inlays, Booze Blade Smoke. I was curious about how you like that. 2.0 M390 Blade HQ exclusive special. And oh, this is gorgeous. BlackRock. I'm not sure how you pronounce this, but Garial Bowie in Scout Carry. Just a beautiful Bowie made by Ken Vahikite at BlackRock Knives. Nice carry, man. I remember when Booze Blades first released their knife, or they had 2 different ones a little while ago. Man, they went like hotcakes, and I guess they've come out with a new run, I'm presuming. Blade Ogre says, carrying the Benchmade Griptilian 20 CV G10 sheepsfoot. Now, to me, that is a temptation, because there is a 511 store close by work, and I know that I can go in a weak moment, and that is, well, actually, they have a lot of really cool, and now that automatics are legal in Virginia, they have a lot of cool. They have the Claymore and a couple of other automatics. But my point is, I've always kind of wanted the Griptilian in sheepsfoot, especially hollow ground. And I know that I can steal away at lunchtime to 511 and actually drop the bills to get that. It wouldn't be. It's not advised. That's why I haven't yet. I don't do $200 lunches, but one of these days I'm going to break down. So that's very long for saying nice choice. Second, brand new tagged out. That is cool. I just saw that. I love the look of that blade. Nice looking blade on that. A clip point with a opening slot. Very appealing. Medford Praetorian Swift. So that's an automatic Praetorian. So it's a more slender profile. Spyderco Smock. Viper Hug. I don't know that one. Is that a neck knife? Boker Bonfire, the ASK Jefferson, and that's the Medford Swiss Army knife. And what does ASK stand for? I feel like it's obviously a play on SAK. And the GEC Stockyard Whittler. Very, very, very nice carry, Chris. What's happening with the XM recurve? I haven't heard about that in a couple of weeks. You getting tired of it? Are you trying to move it along? What am I picking up on a hint? Is this what's happening? He didn't ask for my address. Should I take the hint? Nav Sergeant says, had to be bougie when picking up my USN The Gathering badge today. Grind Tactical Spear Tack XL. Holy mackerel, man. Bougie indeed. Oh, man. Okay, well, enjoy yourself at The Gathering. That's in Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. That is the city in which I first started dating my wife. my now wife. She wasn't my wife then. We were just friends who just happened to both be in Las Vegas, and that was a long time ago. But it's still awesome. Will B says, I have the Grimsmo Norseman, which I will be experiencing firsthand soon, not my own. Spyderco Smock basket weave tie scales. Ooh, that sounds nice. And Kaiser Begleiter XL. Do you have the red handle or do you have the natural handle? And the Civivi Chevalier. Now, what is a Chevalier? Obviously, it's French. To me, it sounds like someone who either cooks or uses a knife for their living. I don't know why, but it reminds me of, like Cavalier, maybe Chevalier, something like that. Showstopper 78. Good to have you here, Showstopper. You were carrying the Nkosi and the Spidey Chef. Whoa, that's a nice carry. Oh, man. I would like to get an Nkosi or at least, check one out. I have the Sebenza 21, which took me a while to fall in love with, I have to be honest, but I am head over heels, have been now for a long time. But I also have I don't have it with me out here, but the Umnumzan. So I would like to see how the Nkosi differs from both of those. Nkosi. Yeah, I would like to see how that differs. But very nice carry, sir. Kenneth Roberts, good to have you here, Kenneth. Good evening, all. Carrying off-grid Scorpion. Nice and loving it. Thanks to you, Bob, and Steel Will Cut Jack. Very nice. I like the Cut Jack. I had one and I gave it away a long time ago. But that would have been a cool one to keep around. And I'm glad you like the Scorpion. I bet you probably have the newer one, the Best Tech made. Does it have the flush screws under the clip? Then it's Best Tech made. And there are probably many other signals. It's just other indicators that it's made by Best Tech. But I know that's one thing that we did that stuck in my craw just a titch. Sharp and Stabby says, simple and efficient carry today. Rat 1, so nice. And rocking my Revere. Oh, I'm rocking my Revere right here. Very nice. Very nice, Sharp and Stabby. And by the way, Rat 1, what a great knife. Hilltop gear. Hilltop. Someone help me. I'm spacing on his name. But Hilltop Gear takes or does Rat 1s, customizes them, puts opening holes on the blades, and does all sorts of cool stuff with Rat 1s. They look beautiful. Hilltop. Damn, someone help me with the name, please, with his name. Mark Ridgewell, Towser K today can't get over the action for the price. Yes, the Towser K is insane. Actually, Towser K is a very close second to the Skaha 2. I have Jock of Jock Knives Skaha. I'm about to send it out. Just made a video of it today, and it is the smoothest knife ever. Smooth meaning like as soon as you touch the lock, it's guillotining you. That kind of smooth, not Sebenza smooth, and even smoother than the display model that they had at Blade Show for the Koenig Arius, even smoother than that, and that was incredibly smooth. Byron Kennedy says, got a Spyderco PM2 in M4 and Arctic Storm carbon fiber for tonight. That is nice. That is a nice. You know what? I got to admit, for as much as I like to dish on the PM2, A, I use mine a lot, and B, that one that has like the Tiffany blue or the teal handle and the black S90V that's now an exclusive at Knife Center looks good to me. I don't know why. I don't have any teal knives. I generally don't do teal, but I don't know. Look good. James Moore carried the Thorburn L55 front flipper again. That is a beautiful blade, beautiful knife. Harpoon blade, 3D carbon fiber scales. Very nice. Titanium clip. What is that? I don't know that. And pivot collars. Okay, we've been through this. I've asked before, and you've told me what that means, and I've been like, oh yeah, but I don't remember what that TIAIN is. Tying. titanium clip, or is that just a company? And pivot collars, Zirc pivot. Zirconium is beautiful. I didn't really realize it until I got it in hand and could see it in person. But oh, thank you, Jim. Titanium what? Oh, anodized, maybe. All right, and Raylight pineapple mini flashlight with Timascus button. That sounds gorgeous. James, please remind me again what the TIAIN titanium clip is. I'd be interested. Steel Ovan, good to have you here, Steel. Hello, carrying my blacked out 940 in M4. Okay, so lots of M4 tonight with blue-black G10 scales. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. I do love the blue-black combination. I made a knife that I like that has that blue-black in a contoured handle. Mark Herrera says, manly comrade in S90. If I haven't, I've said hello to you tonight, Mark. Manly comrade S90V and case tribal lock with bone stag covers for traditional Knife Thursday. So when that case tribal lock came out, I don't know, 2015, maybe something like that. I think it was like a vault design. Every year they pull some old model out of the vault and do a whole bunch of runs of it. And I remember hearing that the tribal lock was actually having backlock issues, rock lock and such. Mark, have you experienced that on your case tribal lock? Just curious. I've noodled around with their copper lock, which seems very tight. So I'm just curious if they got it wrong with the tribal lock for some reason. Hero says, working day on the property. Ooh, just saying that I like on the property. That means it's some land working on the property. I long to leave the very, very close to the city suburbs at some point in the future. So hearing working day on the property to me just sounds like heavenly. Okay, working day on the property, carried my American Blade Works version 6. I say that as if you know that I was just talking about that, but not here. Version 6, buck 110 with studs, awesome. Gransford Brooks small forest axe. I have a Gransford Brooks hatchet that a friend of mine gave me. He's kind of he likes axes and he goes to a site called Axe Junkies. Anyway, he got me that very fine German axe, and I have never used it and never sharpened it and don't intend to. I love it and I'm going to keep it pristine. Kind of like, I gave him a really nice Filipino Chris and he's kind of done the same thing. Then again, it's not like you take a Filipino Chris out often and like use it. So, in any case, nice axe. Yvonne's, how's it going? Knife Addict Life. Yvonne's, we Snex Vision R. Snex. I'm always like Snex, but to me it's Snex now. We Snex Vision R. Very cool. This is the one that requires no tools, right? Yvonne's, let me know. 9198 David, good to see you here. Was at the shooting range today carrying my Emerson CQC-10. Oh, we have an Aristocrat. Spyderco military in 52-100 and the SE4. That's a very nice carry. Couple of questions. 52-100, that's a total carbon steel, right? Do you have a patina on that or do you have to keep it nicely oiled? And then the CQC-10 is kind of a rare bird. That's a very nice, I've always kind of been interested in that. It's a drop point, just a very kind of plain, but sort of spear point drop point, right? Spear point in that the point is kind of center line. Max the Maker, good to see. CQC 11K. All right. So there's something in the air, some Emerson designs. As a matter of fact, in my pocket right now, I have the 640 by ZT and Emerson. Max the Maker has the CQC 11K used to cut cucumber and harvest summer squash. Now that 11, first of all, very cool. I like that Max the Maker tells us what he used his knives for. But that CQC 11 was cool. That's the one that looks like it's a skinning knife, right? It's a big upswept skinning knife type knife, right? Morgan Cones, thank you, sir. And was in touch today to let him know that the Togata I got was a proto. Oh, interesting. You mean, did you tell him that just in case he wanted to swap it for a production model so you would have the proto, or just to tell him how impressed you were with it. Kevin McNeshart, it was a buck day for me today. Carried the Saunter, don't know that one. The 110 Slim Pro, nice. The Budgie, that's a nickname for my dog. I don't know how that came up. Buddy, I think. And the Heritage 102. And of course, an Eldris. So the very nice, the Buck Eldris, one of my favorites. So the Heritage 102, is that a very small, like hunting fixed blade? Is that like many steps down from the 119? I remember in the hardware store growing up, because I was, I always ran to the hardware section, and or in the hardware stores, I always found the case knife case or the buck knife case. And the buck knife case in our hardware store had like a not an evolution, but from smaller to larger buck hunting knives. And it was so cool because it did go down really small. Is that one of those? Something that's a little bit more diminutive. Jay McConnell, today I had a Maximate Para 3. I got to get some Maximate. What is the matter with me? And the GEC 68. I love the GEC 68. I don't have it, but I want it. That's a cigar, and they just released a standard Stockman, I think, in the 68. Is that correct? Standard Stockman just meaning, well, maybe not so standard. I think it's a clip point for the main, but a sheep's foot and a spay, both smaller. Love the small forest axe. Oof, yes. I'm presuming you use it. So I love hearing that it's great, because I'm not going to mar my axe head. I'll use something I get at Home Depot for actual axe. American service knife. Oh, okay. Oh, well, kind of like Swiss Army knife, American service knife. That's very cool. So it kind of is a take on Swiss Army knife, but it's not on necessarily on the letters. No hints, as I don't sell knives at all. Nice. The Viper Hug is a slip joint with black and blue carbon fiber. Oh, nice. So that wasn't no. Okay. All right. No hints. He's just getting a little break from all the action. The Begleiter XL is the original White Mountain Knives exclusive micarta model. So the original was in natural tan micarta, and then this second run of them, I was going to say thank God, but no, we don't have to thank God for that. We just thank White Mountain Knives for coming back out with this, because it's so good. I love this knife. Also, it's in 154 cm, a steel I adore. I love the handle material. So when they came back out with natural, and then this red linen, and then I think a black, a white, and some other weird color G10 in this 4-inch dreamboat of a knife. I love this knife. Excuse me. Hero Stick says, a knight or a chivalrous man, a chevalier. Okay, cool. Thank you, Hero. I appreciate that. EDC Tonto Knives, how you doing, sir? EMP EDC Nimble T. Wow, man. Okay, so you are obviously, I watch your videos. I know how into Tontos you are. That Nimble Tonto is beautiful. That swooping line of I love that knife. Beautiful. BJ Hill at Hilltop Knives and Gear. Thank you, Jared. That's like people yelling at their screen. Damn it, it's BJ. Oh, hello everyone, he says with a 20. Thank you, man. All right. Okay, so I'm going to salute you for that with something that's brand new. Now, this is a knife. It's not a brand new knife, but it's brand new to me, and I have wanted this knife for at least 25 years. At least half of my life, I've been lusting for this knife, and for some reason, have never pulled the trigger until now. So I will salute you with this, but first I'll show it off under the knife cam, and it is the Cold Steel Taipan. I have a thing for double-edged knives. As a matter of fact, all fixed blades on the table tonight are double-edged, all except for one. Anyway, so this is the Taipan. It is positively beautiful. It is a perfect dagger in that it's not just for thrusting because it swells out towards the tip, subtly. Those bevels are hollow ground. So this is a slasher. You can slash all day long with this knife and then thrust with its diamond tip. This thing is just incredible. And so it's got the sort of legacy cold steel build with the aluminum bolsters and the skull crusher and the what is this stuff called? Craton, I guess, rubberized craton stuff. And this has remained stable on my knives, on my cold steel knives that I've had for many years. Ordinarily, I don't like craton, but on cold steel, they seem to use the right stuff. Anyway, this is a VG10 Sanmai steel blade. So this is my first Sanmai blade ever, including all the cold steels that come in Sanmai. Never sprung for the Sanmai, but this is actually quite inexpensive because now they make this knife in 3V. So they have the 3V version, and I'm not sure if they're trying to sell out on the VG10 versions and just stick with that, but this is VG10. It doesn't matter. It suits my purposes just fine. So Jared and Kara, this is to you. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat and for your awesome channel. I love your stuff. And you are, when I say trusted voices, you are chief among the trusted voices, sir. So thank you very much. All right. Scoutmaster Avery, mad at my Rat 1. Still super gluing my knuckles shut from this weekend slip. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. It's time to kick that sucker to the curb. I think you really should, actually. If that knife folded on you. Chris McNair. Hey, Bob. Hey, Chris. Good to have you here. Got my Nimble T and 80 20.5 Shark's Foot, of course, with denim micarta. Love the denim micarta. Even love the ugly Shark's Foot. It's such a good knife. I mean, it's such a great blade for doing most everything. Not for thrusting, incidentally, but I don't find that comes up in my life too much. Mr. VC256 says, got my Kaiser Begleiter 2 Tonto today. Is that titanium? Is that the all titanium? Great action on this. Man, I just, I'm digging the, well, this is my main indicator, but I've wanted the real mini one with the, what do you call it? Warncliffe blade for a long time. Thing's awesome. Oh, okay. Titanium aluminum nitride hard coating. Oh, has a dark purple hue. Ooh, that just sounds so nice. Okay, so from now on, when you mention that knife, I'm still not going to remember titanium aluminum nitride, but I will try. Titanium TI aluminum nitride. It's in there. Hero says, currently blessed with 5 forested acres up here in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so how many Sasquatch can that sustain? Probably not even one. I'm sure they just breeze through there. That sounds beautiful, man. Pacific Northwest is positively beautiful. I love it up there. I haven't been up there in ages and have no desire to go to the major cities there. No offense to anyone, but I'm kind of done with cities. Mark Herrera says, Bob, my case tribal lock has no issues at all. Very solid for 4 years, and that I've owned it. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. I think it was I'm remembering who had issues with their tribal lock, and Alchemy One on YouTube. I remember he got one, and it must have just been a lemon because, like I said before, the copper locks by Case lock up very, very nicely, but they have weirdly dull pointed tipped blades. I don't get that. Yvonne says, just a pivot and single screw. Okay. Utilizes the super lock that preceded the shark lock. Ooh. Okay. The super lock. I got the clinch. I got the clinch pick 2.0 and the Civivi Terax. Okay. Is the Civivi Terax, that's the one that changes angles, right? And it has like 4 edges, one of them being a scoop. But the clinch pick from Warrior, oh, you got it from Warrior. That's a cool, I like that. But that clinch pick, I love the clinch pick. And South Narc, the guy who designed it, I can never remember his real name. He's a badass, but he also shows off his his nice duds too. He's not just like a girl, he's not just like an aggressive guy. He's also a classy guy. So very nice carry, man. Got to get a clinch pick. And if you haven't watched videos of him, it was inspired by being in cars doing undercover drug deals and having guys in cars attack you, and just the way you can pull it out. And there are some very cool videos where he shows different fighting techniques in cars and how to control people's bodies across the console. It's very, very cool stuff. Tim Simcoe, good to have you here, Tim. Hey, all, reporting in for the Emerson crew with an 8 today. Oh, very nice. Had to cut some vines, weed eater line, and open some beef jerky. Sounds perfect. A CQC 8 is perfect for opening beef jerky and cutting vines. I've never cut weed eater line with it, and sadly, I no longer have my CQC 8. There was a period of time where I thought it was acceptable to sell certain knives, like Emerson's among them. Now I won't. Though I am not in an inquisitive phase, I'm not looking for Emerson's, but I'm not getting rid of any. Josh Worth, the ZT0562 for me. Josh, it's good to have you here. And man, what a fantastic knife that is. I had the 562 a while ago in its very first and least expensive iteration. And I ended up selling that when I realized, wow, I have 5 zero tolerance knives designed by Rick Hinderer. And if I sell them all, I can get a real Rick Hinderer knife. And now, of course, as I always say with every knife I've sold, I kind of regret it, but it allowed me to get Hinderer knives. So I don't know. You got to make sacrifices. 9198 David says, you are absolutely right about the CQC. Love this thing. And my 52-100 military has fully oxidized. Okay, so 9198 David, are you going to get the military with the new military? I'm so excited. Finally. I mean, geez, how long? They must have made 8 trillion militaries because they had to sell every last first run of militaries before they would reorient the clip to the proper side and give it the compression lock. I am very excited to get that model. I've always loved the military, and I rarely carry mine anymore, but I think having that those 2 features will really inspire me to carry that. So I'm looking forward to it. Are you? 9198 David. Ket McNessard says the Buck 102 is the 4-inch fixed blade compared to the 119's 6-inch. The Heritage version has Cocobolo handles and D2. I love Cocobolo. I'm becoming just like James Moore. I love natural materials on my handles, and this is really, really knocking that point home. And I know that James is just drooling and jealous about the wood on this handle. Kevin Moore says, evening. Hey, good evening, Kevin. I hope you're feeling on top of the world. I know you've been posting your pictures with the Hawaiian shirts, and I respect that. Kevin Moore, evening, good knife folk. Meeting here with y'all is the finest of things to do. If I didn't have these headphones, I would take my hat off to you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. And as always, your commentary. N. Conway, good to have you here. And Blade Ops exclusive Shaman in LMAX. Very cool. Blade Ops is a cool place. But Shaman is also a cool knife. And as you know, recently, I've had the question, Shaman or Mannix. Not that I'm actually going to get either one, because actually I don't have much Spyderco money, and I'm saving my Spyderco money for the military too. Scoutmaster Avery says the rat didn't fold. Oh, I cut dumb and paid the price. Okay, good. As I told the wife, it's not that bad. The bone stopped the blade. Very nice. Now that is the spirit, Scoutmaster. That is the spirit. The bone. God gave me bones for a reason, so I don't cut my finger off. Manny Z. Hey, Bob and Jim. Que pasa? Well, que pasa with you? All is good here. Having a great night. Wait, what should I say? Va bene. Va bene. Actually, that's Italian, right? Mucho gusto. Mr. VC 256 says, nope, it's the new with black micarta. Oh, okay. Awesome. It's always funny when I ask and then I finally get an answer. I have to remember. This Old Sword Blade review says, here is my weigh in on tonight's topic. Buying more custom fixed blades these days. BlackRock, Josh Mason, K-Tel. Remember K-Tel? Anyone? T-Kel and Dirk Pinkerton. Yes. So this, Dave, this is the exact boat I am in. And actually, it is the custom fixed blades that tempt me most. Custom folders, not as much. Miguel Barbudo, as you and I have discussed, his fixed blades are just, dreamy. And then that, oh my God, his Navajas. If you don't know who Miguel Barbudo is, you have to look him up on Instagram and follow him. He's the designer of the Wii knives. All right, Dave, you're yelling it at your screen. What is it? The Bastardo. No, it's not that. I can't remember what the hell it's called. I'll remember in a second. I'm just getting all excited. It's a beautiful Spanish Bowie with a really beautiful, unique blade. And Dave's going to tell us what it is in a minute. But you got to check this guy out. To me, his custom folding Navajas would be kind of a dream knife to have. For me, the folders, there are some. Certainly Charles Marlowe, chief among them. I love Charles Marlowe folders. I would take anything that he made. Hero Stick says, we've had bear, bobcat, barred owls, coyote, a myriad of birds. No Bigfoot sightings yet, but still feels pretty squatchy. You walk outside and you're like, we're being watched. Will B, I want that new military with the compression lock. Will, I'm getting it first. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, me too, man. When I saw it in the Knife Center interview videos from Knife Center from Blade Show, it had me totally all excited. The new military is a must for me. I have a slight obsession with the military. I did not know that. That's well, then it is a must for you if you're a collector of the military. Excuse me. No, just knocked my. I have a, so I can have more knives on my desk. I stack them next to each other, kind of like dominoes. But if I knock one, they're all over. Okay, so I want to show this off before I tell you about my idea about the evolution of our collections, and like, please feel free to chime in. But I want to show you this knife that was just donated to the channel, and with the stipulation that it be auctioned. And I have to go about this very carefully because it is a very valuable knife. More valuable than almost every knife in my collection, not put together, but it's, so I need to make sure that I hook up this auction just right. Anyway, so here it is. This is the Carter Cutlery neck knife, and this one is made by Murray Carter. Murray Carter, if you didn't watch the interview with him last week, Murray Carter is a Canadian guy living in Idaho now, but when he was 18, he moved to Japan and started bladesmithing, started apprenticing under a village bladesmith who made tools and knives for about 5 years. And then he became the 17th generation bladesmith in that town, a 420-year tradition he carried on as a Guaylo. I don't know if I can say that, but as a white guy, I know I can say that in Japan. And he mastered the art of Japanese bladesmithing and steel building, and it's unbelievably beautiful. And then after about 18 years of doing that, he moved to the States and got his master bladesmith in early 2000s or 1999, something like that. And then he started making kitchen knives and became very, very sought after for his kitchen knives, all done in this traditional Japanese style. And so that he could carry on this tradition and kind of pass it along to the next generation, but also get help in handling the volume of high-end orders he had. he started taking on apprentices and developed a very serious apprenticeship program teaching bladesmiths how to do this, how to make knives in this ancient or very, very old Japanese style of knife making. And so now Carter Cutlery, you can buy knives, go to Carter Cutlery and buy knives, and they all kind of fit within similar themes and similar designs, but they're all different because they're made by different apprentices. And then they get stamped with their stamp on one side and then the Carter Cutlery stamp on the other. And those are called Muteki blades. And they're less expensive than Murray Carter made Carter Cutlery blades. So this one was made by him, and this was his personal neck knife for a long time. And then after our interview, he said, I'm gonna take this off. I'm not gonna put it back on. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna sharpen it. I'm gonna, tidy it up and send it to you. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And he's like, but you gotta auction it. I'm like, it didn't quite happen like that. I try not to be as transparent as that, but there may have been some deflation. It's so beautiful. I would love this to be mine, but it can't be. And so the proceeds of this is I'm going to have a, what do they call it? A reserve or a minimum. And if it doesn't go below that, all bets are off. And I'll find a place to someone to sell it to get. He told me what it's worth, and that's what I need to get for it. And then that money is going to be donated, I guess, to Knife Rights. I don't know. I haven't decided where the money will go, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it will go to Knife Rights because of how they hook us all up. But this year it's personal with the Switchblade thing. So, that's probably what I'll do. Sharp and Stabby. I don't have a Carter yet, but I did pick up a Quaken last summer from Ryan Cavallo, a smith that trained under. Oh, cool. It's my multi-$100 steak knife most days. Ooh, that's awesome. Yeah, Ryan Cavallo. Okay, so it's really cool. If you go to the Carter Cutlery website, you can see the 8 or so apprentices right now working in his shop, and you can see all of their maker's marks, and then you can view all of their knives. It's really cool. Hero Stick says, my evolution is shifting to acquire custom fixies that pair well with my steady and favorite EDC folders. That sounds like a solid strategy. I wish I had a strategy. I feel like I'm I feel like I'm just lashing out irrationally and grabbing things as they appeal to me. But I have learned with age and time and stuff like that if I just resist just a little while longer, oftentimes maybe it's not such a bad thing that I didn't buy that knife. Maybe maybe I saved some money and didn't get a knife that I'm not carrying. So so my collection, same thing. But okay, so it's going a lot towards the custom fixed blades. I have a lot of custom fixed blades at this point, a pretty nice collection of them, but everything else is sprawling now too. And I haven't gotten a nice expensive. I haven't gotten like a hinderer or something very expensive in a while, but I've gotten a lot of like little things here and there, and they're starting to add up, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I grow attached to these things, and then if I use it, I'm like, well, I've used it. No one's gonna buy this thing now, like I've really put it through some hard use. I don't know. I think I have a little bit of a. I don't know. This collection is swallowing me. I don't want it to swallow me. I don't want it to be like, you don't own your things own you and all that stuff. So sorry, this is ending up to be a therapy session. I guess that's you're I guess just choosing that topic. I need the help from some people out there, but I don't want to get rid of anything. I'm always talking about regret and the things I regret not getting rid of. Okay, so before I was teasing the fact that everything up here is double-edged. So I'm gonna put a couple of double-edged examples up here. Here's the Taipan. Oh, check this out. Here's the Spartan Harzy dagger. I need the Spartan George dagger to really be satisfied. There's that. Look at that. Look at how big this damn Taipan is. It's a big ass knife. And then here's the another classic. This thing. This lately has been my couch knife. Or I don't sit on the couch. Basically, I sit in a leather chair. But this has been the hanging out and viewing stuff knife lately. Because, don't we all? Isn't there a little part of our minds, or maybe it's just me? I know there are some of you who's thinking, what if someone just busts through the door while I'm chilling out here in my jammies watching TV? I'd love to at least try and scare them off with this dagger. If not, have to use it. And I know what you're all saying, but I have those too. It's just, I like knives better. So there you go. Daggers. Who's got them? Who likes them? Check this out. This is my Home Depot dagger. Now, I called it a drywall knife, and then I was corrected. And I think that this is an air conditioning duct, like a duct knife. Is that correct? Like for cutting metal, like thin metal. But look at this thing. This you can just walk into. Oh, by the way, daggers are illegal in Virginia, I'm pretty sure. But you can go into Home Depot and get this. And man, it's solid. You could hit it, it's got a whole pad there for a hammer. Just pound this through whatever you're cutting. This is a serious dagger here, man. It reminds me of the Sog Pentagon with the hat or my Microtex with the half serrated side, the half straight side. Not bad. Not bad for a day at Home Depot, I gotta say. Which, I know I'm not the only one. As soon as you walk into Home Depot, it's like, well, before I get down to the serious stuff, let's go see if they're selling any decent knives. And where I live, they're not. Weston Probst. How's it going, Weston? Hey, he says. Hey to you, sir. Mark says, yes, it is for cutting flexible duct and duct board. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I got it. I remember now. I think you're the one who told me in the first place when I got that. Klein Tools. All you got to do is make a Kydex sheath for this sucker, and actually it has a rubberized handle. So if you want to stash it on your person, you might wrap it in athletic tape so it doesn't print on your shirt and all that. But that's just my suggestion. So in this evolution towards custom knives, I still find myself going after some old production magic. And this is truly that. I'm so excited this came. So let me tell you the story about this. I ordered this because it's been in my Amazon bin or Amazon cart forever. And I finally was purging all the, that's sort of like a list I have on Amazon of knives I want. And I end up purging the list off, and this never ever got purged. And finally I was like, that is a decent price. I'm going to get it. So I got it. And the first one that showed up had a severe issue right here where the edge terminates at the ricasso. On one side, it was like the guy started to look at his phone, and it just, see how there's this step up here. It didn't step up at all. It blended right into that line where the ricasso is right there. It was just jacked up. And, maybe someone who doesn't care too much about knives might not notice that, but it jumped right out at me. And I was like, damn it, because I was so excited to get it in the first place. So next day I do the return thing on Amazon, and it shows up. Next day was yesterday. And it showed up it was like materialized on my porch immediately. So there must be a stash of these somewhere in Virginia that they can easily access, which I'm happy about. That makes me happy. Sharp and Stabby says, I've been lusting lately for a Winkler Wasp. Oh, yeah, wasp handled dagger here recently. I don't need it, but I want it anyway. Well, what is need? What does need mean, really? I mean, we could get all... I'm pretty good with the justifications, but need and want, I know. I remember my mom saying to me and my brother, probably in an attempt to keep us away from those fast little numbers, that she didn't want us to date, but she would say, you don't always have to think about what you want, but what you need. And I'd be like, Ma, I'm 17. I don't know what I need, but I know what I need. Dan Satermo, good to have you here, Dan. You're not alone, Bob. I too think about that shrugging. I too think about that shrugging. What do you mean, Dan? See, sometimes I just go off at the mouth and I don't even know what I'm saying. What shrugging? I'm wondering if you mean while I'm sitting there on the couch, but I don't know. Hero Stick says, Bob, are you a knife wish list guy? I tend to keep them at Blade HQ, Knife Center, and River's Edge Cutlery, etc., to help me prioritize. I also usually have 8 to 10 open tabs, so I remember what specific knives I want next. No, I'm not a wish list guy. What it is on Amazon, we get a lot of necessary things there. So when I'm looking for those, I wonder what QSP is up to. Let me just, and then, okay, paper towels. Okay. So they end up in the bin. And then of course I purge them from the bin or move them to the thing so I don't forget. But no, Hero, that's dangerous for me. If I had I do have a Blade HQ account, but if I took advantage of it and kept lists, that would be too much. They have my credit card. I could just be like, I hit it. Damn, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, I guess I have something cool coming in, Blade HQ, 5 to 7 weeks. Scotch and Things. What's up? I find myself spending more and more. Hey, Scotch and Things. Good to have you here. Yeah, there was a great video by the Apostle P, Rob Bixby, probably about 7 years ago or something like that, called The Progressive Insanity of Knife Collecting. And he talks about that very thing. And he uses different landmark knives in his own collecting. Like at first he thought it was ridiculous to pay $40 for a knife. And then he got the Kershaw Leak or something, you know what I mean? And he keeps going up and up and up to Sebenza territory. And I think that's where he stops in that video. But yeah, it is a real thing. If you like it, it's like anything else. If you like those things, some people are clothes horses and they just love clothes, or like bags. Women love bags. And I understand. I love leather. I like bags. I like backpacks and stuff. I could see collecting bags, or shoes even, I guess. Boots. I could see collecting boots for sure. But yeah, that's what ends up happening. The more knowledge you gather, the more open the more you realize, things improve, things get better the more money you spend, oftentimes, just like anything else. Why am I even philosophizing? You know what I'm talking about. I know why. This is extra strong coffee I made tonight. Weston Probe says, I keep a list on Amazon. That's about it. Yeah. It can be good just to keep the memory going. Tim Simcoe says, you say that as if Amazon doesn't have yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, Tim, you son of a gun. Byron Kennedy, Bob, you put them in the Amazon cart hoping your wife accidentally buys them. Come on, fess up. Yeah, it's true. It's true, Byron. And you know what? That worked once years ago. I got a Schrade Tomahawk that I just looked at, and I think she went through the history and found it. I don't think it was even in my cart, but it appeared on Father's Day, and I was like, awesome. So I have that Schrade spiked Tomahawk. It's my car Tomahawk. Tell me what your car Tomahawk is. I know you all have one. Dan Satermo says, spell check got me. Yes, the couch. Okay, cool. I was trying to be clever and use the nonsensical word combining. Okay, and stuff. Oh, shit and stuff. Got you. I thought maybe you meant Davenport. You were hanging out on the Davenport in your dungarees, playing with your switch knife. Wizard of Todd, good to have you here, Wizard of Todd, with that creepy mask. Oh, wait, that's not a creepy mask. That's like a Viking. That's like a Viking. Can't tell. I just know the black eyes freak me out a little bit. Or are they sunglasses? Describe. I don't have my readers. Wizard of Todd. I would imagine that just about 100% of the people in here have a knife problem. I like that. 100, just about 100%. I would say approximately 100% of you suckers have a knife problem. I like that, Wizard of Todd. I think you might be right, or at least you're probably not wrong. Chris McNair, I don't have a huge collection, but each knife I've bought over the last few years is incrementally more expensive. I'm at $300. I'm not sure where it will stop. You say that as if it's not in your control. No, actually, no, you don't. You're saying that as if you're not sure where you will draw the line, but you have not gotten to that point yet. And I respect that. As my number creeps up, it also creeps down. Or at least stays down, you know. Like, it's funny because I'm going to show off this Jack Wolf Knives knife now. Let me put it down here. That's the Benny's clip, but let me put these daggers away before I stab someone, like chiefly myself. But just looking over here at the Benny's clip, I'm really excited about it. But I was talking about my price creeps up and my price creeps down. I was also the other day getting a lot of enjoyment out of this super cheap 8CR13 MOV Barlow by Kershaw. I can't remember what it's called, the Gadsden or something like that. Knight's helmet. Okay, thank you, Wizard of Todd. Knights. You know what? That's like, it's both handsome and fearsome at the same time. Like, you wouldn't want to stare at that face in battle because of those black eyes. So yeah, I'm a cheapskate, and I also have the champagne taste. Will be my Jeep Tomahawk is a Sog Tomahawk. I got the Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I got it Smoky Mountain Knife Works several years ago. That's cool. I love those Sog Tomahawks. Some of them actually look like the Vietnam Tomahawk, but I'm talking about the other one. It has a spike on the back. Very cool. I know the American Tomahawk also has a spike on but it's a different front blade. All right, so let me show you this. This is the Benny's clip. I'm sure you've seen the videos. I did an unboxing video that went up today. I received this yesterday, and I had seen a number of other people had gotten theirs a day before me, and I was like, Virginia, DC area, mail goes slower when you have millions of people packed in. But this thing is positively amazing. Mr. VC256 says, I started my collection last Christmas with an Elementum. Wow, but escalated quickly. Now I'm in Shiro Grimsmo Hinderer territory, and I'm about 70 pieces. And you are an inspiration, sir, Mr. VC. That's awesome. I love hearing that because, you know, obviously, just as long as you're not taking food out of the baby's mouths and all that, obviously. But it's really cool to see a passion take over like that. You started with the Elementum, which is an awesome knife. And for someone who doesn't have knives, that's like, that's starting on a pretty nice high bar for a production knife. And, or, you know, for a budget production knife, for a first-time knife guy, and then to see how it escalated down such a classy path, you know, with Grimsmo and Shirogorov and Hinderer. Man, nicely done, sir. Have a knife day. Good to have you here. Have a knife day. Good evening, Junkie, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Let's look at this blade, man. So this blade has a lot of things that I like about it. Weston says, I don't have a knife problem. It's my wife that has a knife problem. That's funny. Yeah. I guess you could say that. That's funny. So what I like about this very attractive blade is that there's a slight recurve in it. And that's a very traditional kind of touch because a lot of traditional clip point blades have that sort of recurve, and also spear points, especially the kind that widen out towards the tip, so that you can sharpen through that recurve in time and not deform the contour of the blade prematurely, or have that nice profile for a longer time, cutting profile and visual profile. What else do I like about it? I like that it has a pretty abrupt belly. It's almost reminding me a little bit of a Tonto. Yeah, a clip point Tonto. A little bit. I mean, obviously not, but it just, that abrupt sort of sweep up there almost has that Americanized Tonto angle feel. Beautiful swedge. This is the first of the 6 knives that isn't fully hollow ground. This has about a 2/3 hollow grind, and that is part and parcel of the Lanny's clip design. If I didn't mention it, the Benny's clip, which is what this is Ben Belkin's take on the Lanny's clip, a knife design created by Tony Bowes, a man who I invited on the show, and whose wife showed interest in having him come on, and then sadly he passed away, so I never got a chance to talk to him. Would have been cool. He is responsible for a lot of really great traditional knife patterns that he created during his lifetime, so they're not that old. Like the back pocket. Actually, this reminds me a little bit of the back pocket blade. Dan says, raise a hand if you have a knife problem. All right. It's true. It feels good just to say. M390 blade steel. You've got the amazing build here. Just exquisite build. There's like 0 seam. I mean, obviously there is. It's very hard to detect between the spine of the blade and the spring. Just beautiful, beautiful knife, and incredible walk and talk. I would give this an 8 on my totally arbitrary scale of pull on the knife, and a great walk and talk. This thing is beautiful. So are you interested in the Jack Wolf Knives new one, the Benny's clip? It's big. It's the biggest one so far, and the blade itself is 3 inches. And for a slip joint, that's big. Here it is next to a Delica, which is a decently sized knife. It's a smallish knife, but look, it's got a larger blade than the Delica. Great work knife. I think this will be, I say that, but I have not done work with it. But if your work is cutting, it's going to be a great knife. Again, with that hollow grind, this is not a knife I'm going to stick in something and pry. But I don't do that with knives anyway. This is a really refined and beautiful cutting tool. And so there you go. Here, I want to show off this. You've seen this before. This is my Chris McNair says, correct. I haven't gotten to the limit. Yeah, exactly. The relative may be next. Oh, wait. What is the relative? The large. That's right. The new EMP EDC. The relative may be the next incremental increase. That thing is gorgeous. I want. But this is my Delica serrated Warncliffe, a great little EDC that you could use defensively if need be, because of the point and the edge and the serrations and all that, and the neutral handle. It's just a great knife. And this was a gift to me by Stu of Stone and Steel up in Vermont a few years back. It had black multi-directional handle, and so I swapped it out for some Smoky Mountain Knife Works titanium scales. But the long clip just was so uncomfortable for so long. It actually bumped into this part of my hand right here. And so I finally, I wanted to start carrying this again. And I was like, this clip's a bummer, man. It just doesn't feel good to hold. So I decided I needed a shorter clip. I got an MXG gear for Delica and this kind of knife, this kind of Spyderco knife. And I went with the small, and it's awesome. It makes all the difference in gripping this knife. I mean, it feels really good in hand. You could, if you're cutting cardboard with this, you could go all day long now, or I could go all day long now. That big black clip that was on there looked goofy, but really just didn't feel right. And that's just kind of a Delica thing that they have that clip on there. I feel like they should put a shorter clip on that knife. But very, very happy with this. I love MXG gear stuff a lot. A lot of my Emersons have those clips, and several other knives. Last in the state of the collection, I want to show you this awesome thing. Kevin Moore says, my dad always told us, want in one hand and grunt in the other. See what fills up first. Want in one hand and grunt in the other. See what fills up first. That's awesome. That's kind of like what I say, Kevin, to my daughters when they say, I wish. I wish, I wish. I say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. It's the same. It's kind of the same meaning. It's an old saying, and I love it. You gotta keep those sayings going. So I'm glad you're keeping that rich and righteous tradition alive. Okay, last in the state of the collection is a loaner from the man himself, Dirk Pinkerton. We were talking about a different knife design, and he asked if I had experienced the Contact yet. This is a Beyond EDC asymmetrical. That's their sort of mid-tier line, and it's awesome. This thing is awesome. It is the perfect Wharncliffe blade. I was talking to Jim before we rolled here. Something about this, I was like, why is this so perfect? And why does it remind me of? And then I remembered, well, it's got the same angle at the tip as the Emerson Wharncliffes, and I think Emerson Wharncliffes are perfect to look at and to use, especially if you're using the point. And so Dirk Pinkerton loves the Wharncliffe. I would say a good number of his production knives are Wharncliffes, a good majority of them. He has others, of course, the Street Bowie and the Inversion, that knife. But primarily he does these really nice Wharncliffes. Well, this one is the first Beyond EDC knife that I've had for hours and hours. I only experienced them at the booth or at the table this year at Blade Show. Got a chance to check a lot of them out. Actually, Dirk has another one coming out with Beyond EDC. That's his take on the Spanish Navaja. One of the most, I was just talking about the Miguel Barbudo Navaja, one of the most beautiful and emblematic folders in history. But anyway, multi-talented designer. I actually, in honor of that, I got out my other two Dirk Pinkertons. I'll put them here. The Inversion by Kaiser, such a cool knife. I love that thing. I traded for that with Dave. And then my other is a custom Cave Bear. So cool. He is well known amongst knife makers as being a master at grinding. Just an incredible, look at this. Look at that grind. Holy mackerel. All by hand. Looks like it's done by a machine. Very nicely done. I love this Cave Bear. This is a very nice self-defense option. If you consider knives a self-defense option, look at that. It really does look like a bear claw. Pretty nice. But anyway, this Beyond EDC, this asymmetrical build is so nice. The knife is titanium, bronze titanium, very light, just giant weight relief pockets in there. Really make it light and give it a great sound. I'm going to flip it in front of the mic. Really great sound, great feel, nice and light, beautiful anodized blue clip. Just a great knife, great work knife. This would be an excellent work knife. You've got You've got the tip you can use to open up boxes or cut. I'm always talking about school projects with my daughters. I always end up on this mat with one of my Wharncliffes, cutting stuff out like that, cutting out the Virgin Mary construction paper or something like that, using the tip of my Wharncliffe. So just a cool knife. It's on loan. I might ask if I could buy it. I really like it. I really like it, and I want this one. It's funny, when I got it, I think he had loaned this is either his personal knife or he had loaned it to someone else before me, because when I opened it up, there were 3, and this was kind of nasty, I gotta say, but excusable, 3 hairs on the blade. And I think whoever had this before me tested it on their arm. I hope they were arm hairs, and there they were right on the blade. So I did, blew them off, and then I do what I do. I did what I do every time I get a new knife, a new used knife, or a knife that someone else has been handling. I swab the whole thing down with alcohol. I do the same thing when I sell a knife. I get all my funk off of it and drop it in the little bag or box and send it off. But it was just kind of funny, just hairs from someone being, damn, this is a sharp knife. I'm going to cut some arm hair, very cool, very nice. I dig it. And it's got that Dirk Pinkerton jimping, the sort of half jimping that you see on, let's see, I saw that on the, what was it? The Tangram. He did a flipper Wharncliffe with Tangram, and it had that sort of weird jimping, demi jimping, if you will. I want to talk about a new knife that's coming out from Sog, and I'm very excited. Blade Ogre just won the CRKT Jenny Wren Tomahawk from Smoky Mountain Knife Works on National Knife Day. Congratulations, Chris. That's awesome. Last week, so my truck would be the best place to put a tomahawk. I don't know, man. It depends, I have numerous tomahawks, so there should be one in my truck. It's not a truck, it's a car. But so if you have only one tomahawk, yeah, why not? Because when it's at home, when you're at home and you need a tomahawk at home, you can just go get it. But if you're out on the road, you'll never be without a tomahawk, and that's a good feeling. Will B says, I started collecting about 6 months ago and went from ZT0350 to a Spyderco PM2 to Grimsmo much more quickly than I should have. Woo. Wow, that's accelerating down that slippery slope. Nicely done, sir. I like commitment, and that's a commitment. 9198 David says, my collection of about 300 knives continues to evolve, but remains focused on hard use. I tend to like the hard use knives too. It might be an aesthetic thing because I'm not a hard use guy, but I too love the hard use knives. I still have zero interest in customs or knives I would not put through torturous use. I totally I feel you. I get it. And you've got a really nice collection, at least from your Instagram. Very aligned with my taste. Ketmuk says, I plan on getting a Benny's clip. I think that is a great idea. And have you seen the one with the Arctic carbon fiber? Oh my God, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Really like the carbon fiber. James Moore says, for a long time, my price ceiling stayed at $800. Those days are gone. Funny though, I have blind spots in my knife radar in which I tend not to buy 100 to 300, 400 to 800. Still love a good bargain. I love that. That is pretty interesting. So there's a spot between 300 and 400 that you'll spend, and then under 100. I'm not. I'm kind of like that. It's just my numbers are shifted. But yeah, it's the same thing with me. Like, I very rarely buy in the $150 range or the 100 to 200 range. I pretty much, I don't find myself buying those knives. But it's interesting why. But I love, God, I love a $40 knife that's really awesome. Like one of these Civivis or something like that. Mark says, good to know the thrill never dies. It hasn't for me. It's been all this life, all this time. Here's another double-edged beauty. Since I showed you the it's classy older brother, or I shouldn't say that. It's because it's a more of a granddaddy here, but look at that. Some double-edged daggery cold steel goodness for you. This one is discontinued, unfortunately. This is the Safekeeper 2. I had a Safekeeper 2, and I gave it to a friend in Philadelphia a long time ago. I know he still lives there, and he probably needs it. And I also had the Safekeeper 1, the large one. Didn't I? Did I have that? I guess I didn't. I want it. See, there we go. Want and need. Very nice. So this month's Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway is on Thursday, September 15th. Thank you, Jim. Become a patron so you're entered for a knife giveaway. So I'm not sure what that knife will be, but it will be sweet. It will be sweet indeed. This was the giveaway knife this month, and I am waiting to hear back from Ryan as to whether he wants the knife, or he has one. I remember now, he won quite a while ago, and he said it's not really my style of knife. Thank you so much. And he had me redo it. So maybe we'll redo it, or maybe he sells it. I mean, why not take it and sell it? Hit that like button, says Hero Sticks. Hit that like button. Hey, what's this from? It was going to be a quote, and now I'm not 100% sure I have the quote right, so I'm not going to say it. Oh, yes, I will. It's not this knife that is being used, but it's, let's see this thing fly. Let's see this thing fly. He doesn't say that like that. He's like this. Let's see this thing fly. What movie is that from? Anyone? Vic, if you're watching, you cannot answer. And no Googling. That's just cheap. But I hope someone knows, and they might. And if you need a hint, I'll give you a hint. I'll tell you what actor said it if it doesn't pop up. So I was about to talk about Lacey Szabo, one of my favorite knife designers, and I forget about him because he's not a 100, says Blade Ogre. 100. Shit. Now I don't remember. 100. Jim, help. 100 was his question. See, my mind moves on, and then is it that easy to sell knives privately? Not all the time. Not really. It depends. Sometimes I go on blade forums and I will see a whole host of knives that I'm shocked are not sold. And then I realize, well, a lot of people cross post, and Ogre might have meant 300. Oh, like the movie 300. Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but then I thought not. So let me know, and if anyone knows, let's see this thing fly. If anyone knows what that's from, let me know. Lacey Szabo, designer of the Felony Stop, a favorite. Yep, 300. Okay, all right. No, it's not from 300, but that's a good guess. You know, with the yelling and the pointing of the blade. This knife, the Felony Stop, designed by Lacey Szabo, one of my favorite Tops knives of all times. I love that Tops Knives has a huge catalog and so many of those knives available at any given moment. That's amazing to me, A. But B, I love that they have a huge catalog of small, stashable, tactical as hell knives, and this is one of them. This is my favorite, one of my favorite of them, the Felony Stop. It's a dagger. It's set up for this, but also in reverse grip. It's got that thumb swale you can use for trapping, and it's just a phenomenal knife. It's got that pistol grip, so you can thrust without canting your wrist. Just a great knife. Well, Lacey Szabo, who designs really cool tactical knives, has a new one out with Tops. And I'm so excited for this. It's called the Express, and it is expressly made as a fighting knife. It's a fighting knife, and you can get it in double edge, which is awesome. Actually, Jim, can you scroll down in this article so So we can see, so that right there on the boot is the single-edged version. And then down below, you can see there's a double edge. But it's interesting. It's a dagger blade, but so you got symmetry in the blade. It does have a slight curve downward, slight recurve on the main edge, if you really look at it or look at it from an angle. But interesting. I always find it interesting to have mostly symmetrical handles or blades, and then non-symmetrical handles. And oh, this thing is just beautiful. No Filipino grip with this knife for sure. You will cut your thumb. But you have a nice thumb ramp there to back your thumb up against, and you have a really nice arcing sort of neutral grip. Neutral, but that bit of a bird's beak there will keep it in hand, and it looks like they have the Rocky Mountain shred pattern in that micarta. Unsurprisingly, it's in 1095, which I love. I love 1095 steel, especially for this. You know, there are numerous. It's great for camp knives. It's also great for this kind of knife where you're not going to be using it much. This is supposed to be for, for bad situations and fighting people off of you or whatever, knife fighting, whatever that means and however that looks. This is for that purpose. So 1095 with a traction coating is a great option. The only thing is, that's what this felony stop is. And if you carry in the waistband, as I do in the summer, that edge, you need to make sure you put oil on the edge, because the edge will catch some red rust there. So that is the one thing about 1095 that is undesirable. But I really want to get this knife for a couple of reasons. I haven't bought a Tops in a long time. And that's a stupid reason, but I love Tops knives. I like to support knives companies I like, and they're all American made, which is great. I've bought a lot of Chinese knives recently, so I need to bring some of that money back here, though some of those Chinese knives were made by American or designed by Americans, so some of that money stayed here, but you get my point. Also, I want to help support Lacy Szabo, whose designs I've always loved. Seek him out and just do an image search of Lacy Szabo knives, and you will see some of the craziest yet most appealing tactical designs you've seen. So this is in my future. That I promise you. Though I did promise the unzipper was also in my future, and I never got that. But there was a misstep that in the unzipper, and that is the pommel. I would have had to grind off a little bit of the pommel to make it comfortable to cap with the thumb, and sometimes just a little bit of having to do that. I don't feel like it. So, but this I'm getting. Smash that like button, says Nordic Adventures. Thank you, Nordic. Nordic. I don't know. Maybe I want to go on a cruise. I don't know where that came up. Nomadic Adventures. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Presumably, sorry. Gary Juroski, and just bought a Hercus Blomberg HB16. Oh my God. It was the first time I actually commissioned a build. Congratulations, man. That sounds awesome. I know his knives. I'm not sure of that model, but I think they're all kind of very similar. Nicely done. Kevin Moore, I recently bought a Grail. I found a new Spyderco Bombshell or Danger Pickle. Very nice. Should arrive early October. Can't wait. So that's the one that that Bearded Gear named the Danger Pickle, and it is designed. Who is that? Is that Birch Tree Blades or Birch Knives, Birch Blades? Wizard of Todd. I think we need the hint. Oh, the hint for the movie. Okay. Tom Berenger is the guy who says, let's see this thing fly. It's Tom Berenger. I know, not the greatest actor of all time, but really good in this movie. Nomadic Adventures says, crap, been called way worse. Different languages even. Oh, man. All right. Well, yeah. Nordic Adventures sounds cool, right? Sounds like a cruise line. I think it might be a cruise line, but nomadic. It's different. It means something different, and I like that meaning. Wizard of Todd. Platoon. No. But great scene in Platoon with Tom Berenger, and he's got a cold steel safe maker, push dagger. but it's in a leather case, one of the original leather sheaths, and it's duct taped to his thing. But anyway, he pushes Willem Dafoe up against the wall, and he just goes, and after he says something to him, he flicks him right here with his, and makes, cuts him on the face. Such a cool scene. And seeing Platoon when I was a kid, like I didn't realize now, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but that as a violation is so harsh, to like pin someone and just put a little cut on their face, man, because that cut's always going to be there, and every time you look at yourself, you're going to see that scar, and you're going to think of that guy. Tim Zimsko, substitute. No, it's not The Substitute. If you don't get it, I'll let you know. But Michael Birchtree does do the Danger Pickle. I have his secant, and it's amazing. It's okay. Danger Pickle is the nickname. Michael Birchtree. What a cool name, Birchtree. Sounds fake. Sounds made up. No, I'm just kidding. Leatherman has a new garage release. Do you know about Leatherman's garage releases? It's kind of like Buck's Buck of the Month. It's these, but in a way, it's more experimental. Buck of the Month is sort of a dressed up buck. This is more Leatherman's. It's like their Skunk Works. If you know Skunk Works, it's Lockheed Martin's experimental wing where they developed the stealth technology, the stealth fighter F-117 and the F-104 Starfighter way back in the day, and the U-2 and the SR-71. They designed a lot, all of the best American air superiority like technology. So this garage thing is Leatherman's version of that. And this new one, this is the release number 3. The first 2 were variations of existing Leatherman, but this one is new. It's a dedicated single bladed knife. But is it single bladed? It has a swappable blade. You either get S35 VN in a drop point, or 154 CM in a Warncliffe, or sheep's foot, I should call it. And it swaps into the blade. There's a little frame at the base where the ricasso of the blade is, and it fits right in there. It I can't remember now how it fits in. I think it notches in, and then you've got yourself a folding knife. It's got a sort of it's not an Axis style lock. It's more like the Sog lock that they have, the old one that lifts up, and the bar gets out of the way, and the blade swings in. So this is going to be available. I think it's pretty cool. And it's aluminum. It's kind of ugly. It's kind of unrefined, but also very interesting. And really, it's an interesting take on a multi-tool. It's also an interesting take on a knife. The swappable blade knives have been around, but we always think of those kind of scalpel-like things that you get at the sporting goods store. This is kind of a different knife than that, and I think it's kind of cool. I also like that it's a Leatherman, but they're offering some premium steels, 154 CM and S35 VN. 154 is not premium, Bob. All right already. Jeez, God, I can't say anything right around here. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. The show's rolling. Sniper? No, that's a good. All right. Well, I'll give you another hint. It's older. I remember seeing trailers for it when I was little, but I didn't see the movie until I was a little bit older. And then my brother and I have seen it several thousand times. It's awesome. Tim, and actually this movie has come up on Thursday Night Knives before. Tim says, it is made up. It's Michael Birch, and his shop is called Birchtree Blade Works. Oh, okay. All right, cool. It is made up. Cool. My instincts were correct. Whew. Mark, got kind of an 80-20 vibe. Yes, it does. I would agree with that. It does. Especially with the Warncliffe. Hero Stick says, hey, anyone with Hinderer modding experience? Anyone have thoughts on whether their proprietary tool is essential or useful? Oh, for neither for scale or washer swaps. Okay, for scale, no. No. You don't need that. You don't need it. No. I mean, because I've done that plenty of times, swapping scales and stuff. The really what I do, because I don't use thread locker in my hinderers or in my like expensive knives, my what do you call it, Chris Reeve knives and other really nicely engineered knives. I don't use thread locker. So with these, if you just press the fat of your thumb into the back and then just take a regular screwdriver, you can break it. You can break it. And if you can't, you can take a regular screwdriver and make it fit. I mean, you can kind of make it fit. You can also easily, I've seen people do this, take a standard screwdriver and then just file out or notch out, however, with whatever tool, a little notch in the center of the screwdriver so that it spans over that center nub. Well, that center nub is actually the screw. But yeah, I say you don't need the specialized tool. It'd be cool to have, though. Definitely be cool to have, but easy to do all the disassembly and stuff without it. Nomadic. Yes, Nomadic. Thank you. Nomadic says, in my humble opinion, knives been around before the gun and be there after the laser beams or whatever technology brings. Yeah. Yep. As long as we're still here with brains and hands with opposable thumbs, we will always be picking up things and making them sharp, I believe. Yes, Chris. Dogs of War, the greatest movie of all time. Nicely done, sir. Are you a Dogs of War fan? Is that a guess? Do you okay, so if you haven't seen Dogs of War, people, you got to. It's who was it? Forsyth. It was one of the big writers of the 70s and 80s who wrote those kind of books, but it's Christopher Walken and Tom Berenger and the guy, who else is in it? I'm trying to remember now. But they're mercenaries and they get hired by an oil company to go overthrow a despotic regime in a fictional African country called Zangaro. And it is awesome. It's so good. It is such a good movie. Please watch it. It's great. I only have it in the 4:3 version, and I don't think they shot it in 4:3, but I'm sure it can be had full screen, widescreen. Josh Worth says, the tighter fit can be useful for not damaging ano on pivot screws. That's about it. You could also make something. Yeah. Okay. That is interesting. I don't have any ano on any of the pivots of mine, but yeah, that is a consideration. Memory and a bit of Wikipedia. Oh, Wikipedia. Oh, you're probably like, what's that mercenary movie? Yeah. You should just look up the trailer, Dogs of War trailer on YouTube. It's great. It was made in 1980, so the trailer is old school. It's an old school trailer. And I love old school trailers. They're so different from today in how they sell movies back in the day. And that's one day. And then there was, older trailers than that are different. And so 80s, interesting time for denim and neon, lots of neon. Remember those Wayfarer, the black Wayfarers with the neon temples? I hated those things. To me, it was the sign of low breeding. I'm just kidding. Bad taste, not low breeding. Bad taste. Oof, I didn't like them. But now I might like them, just for nostalgia sake. Just like that stupid song "Southern Cross" by Crosby, Stills and Nash, which I heard not too long ago, and I got all misty. I'm like, oh, this song, it reminds me of when I was young. And I'm like, yeah, and this song I hated it so much when I was young that if young me could see old ass me getting misty over this song, I'd be like, oh, how do I change before that happens? So yeah, all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff happens. So people, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I need to watch The Deer Hunter again. Classic war movie that sometimes flies under the radar. Is that whole wedding scene up front with the camera not moving for like a half hour? Oh, it's hard to watch. And then the rest of it is hard. That's a hard movie to watch. But something that the Russian roulette scene, of course, is classic. But I always think of this. You know how this is how people say. Oh my God, what do they say? They say, it is what it is. That's the thing. Yeah, it is what it is. I get it, and I understand it. Sometimes it's annoying to hear. It is what it is, but it is indeed what it is. And what is it? It's this, and this is this. This is not anything else. This is this, and that's the little speech that Robert De Niro gives. I don't remember who. In Deer Hunter, when he's holding up the bullet, and the guy's forgotten his boots or something, or he's forgotten ammunition, and he asks for some from Robert De Niro, and he's like, no, I can't remember what his reasoning was, but then he starts talking about this isn't anything else, this is this, it is what it is. And he doesn't say it is what it is, he just keeps saying this is this, and man, you know what? We need to be saying this is this about everything these days. It's absolutely crazy. I cannot believe the state of things, but we need a little bit more of this is this. Come on, let's be real about stuff. Like, let's remember reality. It's not your reality and my reality. It's reality. It's one thing, and it's what's real and what's not. It's what continues to exist once all your bubble-headed ideas, evaporate. That's reality. That's reality. That when you stub your toe, that's reality. It's not my reality, it's reality. Pitt, how you doing, Pitt? Love Apocalypse Now and Deer Hunter, but my favorite movie is Full Metal Jacket. So good. Yeah, that is such a great movie, man. I haven't watched that in a little while, but man, I love it. Nomadic Adventures, classic. I saw Full Metal Jacket in the movie theater, and I remember seeing it. I remember watching it, and it came out right around Platoon. I remember there was some controversy about the timing between the release of those two movies. But I just remember how different it was from Platoon, and how equally uneasy it made me, but in a totally different way. But yeah, both queeze making movies. Jim, what was that last comment that was up? Love you long time. Okay, thank you. Yeah, love you long time. Great movie. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so before I wrap it up, I have all these knives out, and I never show them all off. So let me just show you real quick before I sign off the double-edged knives I took out just for this occasion. Okay, so first I had the Cave Bear because I got the Taipan after so long wanting it. I just decided tonight's a double-edged night. So here it is. Oh, I'll put the Taipan in the center. Look at that. Oh God, this blade is just gorgeous. They did a really beautiful job with the first one I got. That was a lemon, where it was misground down here at the Ricasso. I was like immediately, GSM. They've gone to seed. They're no longer legitimate. And then I got this one. I was like, oh, they're back. Cold Steel's back. Look at that. Oh yeah, Spartan Harzy. Oh, what's this? I didn't have this one out. I love this. I've been with this a lot lately. This is my attention to detail mercantile medium fighter bayonet ground, so I could have that nice jimping there with fully ground top edge. Beautiful double-edged knife. I'm gonna gingerly place it atop the others. Of course, no collection shot is complete without the Hogtooth sub-hilt fighter. I love this thing. Yes, yes, indeed. It is a fantastic and beautiful knife. And oh, one more. Since Dave earlier was talking about Ken Vihikite and Blackrock, Mark says survival knives were the best thing about 80s action movies. No kidding. I loved how in Predator they all had the survival knife and then they all had that giant sword-like machete. So cool. I'd throw in Casualties of War, The Killing Fields, and Jacob's Ladder. Yeah, Jacob's Ladder. That was intense. Okay. Last double edge I show tonight is the Monkey Thumper by Blackrock Knives. It's a ringed knife that could work great as a karambit, but really I like it better without using the ring at all, whether it's in reverse grip or in standard grip. And I say use, it's not like this is a fighting knife. This is for fighting humans. And I don't use it, but if I were to, or when I practice or hold it, I hold it like this. No ring. I don't need to break my finger. I'm not confident enough in my ring skills that I'm not going to break my finger. That Cave Bear, so awesome. That's the one that inspired my smile. Oh, cool. Oh, I love the Smilodon. I need to get a Smilodon in my life. Nomadic Adventure says different blade styles and handles. Yep, we are stabby junkies. Yes, indeed. All double-edged, all beautiful. Oh, here, I said one last. I will. Here's my JB knife and tool ditch pick. Double-edged masterpiece. Very thin, but really robust. Get to the chopper. Yes, the best line. That's, yes. Yes. That's a refrain in this household for go to the car. Get in the damn car, girls. Get to the chopper. Dad's kidding. Just get to the chopper. If sheath is nice, be nice, EDC. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, the sheath is great. The sheath is outstanding. And at this point, every time I buy a new fixed blade knife, I find myself saying, these guys really make good sheaths. And I've come to realize that if you want to sell fixed blades, you really do have to make good. Look at this sheath. I mean, this thing is a beauty. This is custom made for this, but you got to make good sheaths if you want people to carry your knives, especially if you're going for the EDC fixed blade market. You got to really focus on a very good sheath. Otherwise, people won't carry them EDC, and then they will get rid of them unless they're me and they hoard them. And think, and justify it to their wife by, well, when society crumbles and we need to trade something for food, everyone needs a knife. That old refrain, that old chestnut. It's keeping me in knives, keeping us in knives, baby. It's all good. Look at all the solid assets we have. Solid assets. This is this. All right, people. I think that about does it for me. I'm going to sign off right about here, and wish you all well. And thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been a fun night for me. I love talking to you guys and finding out what's up. Who is the maker of that Monkey Thumper? It's Black Rock Knives, and his name is Ken Vihikite, but Black Rock, no K on rock. But also that Monkey Thumper is in production with Fox Knives, not double-edged, and it doesn't have that cool rock pattern in it. But look up Fox Knives Monkey Thumper, and you'll find this profile if you want to just get it to see if you like it. Oh, I see Fox makes it product. Yep, yes, indeed. It is pretty sweet. And actually, last year it won Knife of the Year, one of the Knife of the Year awards at Blade. The Fox version. Man, my future wife and budget for toys. Yeah. Wife and budget for toys. Exactly. I mean, what else can you ask for? Hag 90. Hi, TKJ. I have arrived. Hag 90. It's great to have you here. I am about to depart, sir. But a lot of really great double-edged knives in this one, so you might want to watch it on replay. And see the conversation. Let's see. Night, everyone. Says, hey, good night, guys. Thanks, Hero Sticks. Got it. Night all. Thanks, Bob and Jim. Have a great week, Junkies. You too, Byron. Mark, have a great night, sir. If you want to become a patron, you can do that right here. QR code. I have yet to decide what the giveaway knife will be, but it will be something cool, and I'll let you all know. Also, check out this week's interview. It will be great and fun and exciting, and I'm excited. It is Ian Pekarsky, so of CMF Blade Works. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday Night Knives, and have a great weekend. And I will talk to you real soon. So for Jim working that magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer.